soon as you put a label, we are already identified two different boxes, like they cannot interfere. Decided to have this conversation and share it with other people because I am all in for provocative ideas, and just with the intention that, you know, we all could learn from each other and, you know, enrich our lives. All together could create a more loving and more inclusive future for us and for our children and for everyone. That my definition of masculine and feminine has been a change and is still changing, and I'm open to change, you know, as I evolve. When I say we evolve and we allowed ourselves to have our whole belief system evolve with us, we have to hold that true for people around us and just really meet people where they are, right? So majority of us, we've been raised with, you know, a masculine, it's the man's job to lead, to be in charge, to make decision. And we evolve, and our, you know, rights and equality between men and women evolve as much as we are not saying that anymore. Now we are referring to it as a masculine energy. But we call it masculine energy and feminine energy, but we are talking about the same damn division. For me, in my own experience, and the idea that I like to challenge, like provocative question, is what if we have been taught that being in charge, leading, making decision is a women's role? How we will look at things differently, how that will have been show up differently in our life as an adults, as parents, and so on, right? Through my personal experiences and, you know, married and divorced and plural, not singular, and moving on, you know, I don't even know, I lost counting how many addresses and countries and 3 different continents and so on. I actually got to believe that because I was a single parent, as a woman, you know, for a decade, and I was the only one that make decision, be in charge and everything. I actually, not until too long ago, I would say, you know, I really live most of my adult life into expressing my masculine energy, and I need to get in touch with my feminine energy. And that is such a big fat lie, because my masculine and feminine energy, they've been between me all the time. And it's just, I believe that when you take control, when you're in charge, when you make decision, that's a man's job. So because I done that, I translated to myself, oh, I've been living most of my adult life in a masculine energy, where it shifted for me, and hopefully this could serve others that listen. As a single parent, and there are like millions of them, right? Yes. There is no room for who's the man and who's the woman. I want to just drop all the conversation about feminine and masculine energy, and just, because what it is like, it's just being a parent. Is the only one, and that kid or those children have only one parent, and they count on you. They don't care if it's a feminine energy or masculine energy, right? I'm really learning a lot from LGBTQ community. The same-sex couples, I think we really need to look up to them and see how they manage their relationship, because the conversation about who's the man and who's the woman, it doesn't even exist. And it's really a harmonious dance, if you wish, of like, now I'm leading and you're following, and now I'm following and you're leading, without the need of defining it what it is. So that's where the conversation is like, why do we need to define it? And if you need to define it, as soon as we put a label on it, we absolutely create a division. As soon as you put a label, we are already identified two different boxes, like they cannot interfere. And the other day I was watching this stand-up comedy, and I won't say her name, but She gave a really good example. I was like, holy shit, right? She said, a single mom, and I totally resonate, a single mom is doing everything, keeping a full-time job, drop off the kid, pick up the kid, do everything, right? And she's just doing her job as a parent.
Yeah.
But when a single dad go on YouTube video and it's posting how he learned how to braid his daughter hair, freaking hero. Oh my God, that is so true. And we have these reactions based on what we've been taught and the belief system that we grow up with. And as women, like I've been in a relationship years ago with a single dad, and I literally look at him like he's some freaking hero. As a woman, as a mom, you should take care of your children. Right. But when a dad does it, it's like, oh my God, he's a hero. And we forget about who we really are. Who we are for those children is like, we are parents, period. So we are just doing the job as a parent. So the other labors are unnecessary, because when we take them on, we create a division. In my TED talk, like, you know, the idea was a gender for every human body. And I was talking about this mix of masculine and feminine energy that lives between us, and how there is no tool invented yet to measure how much is too much or how little is not enough. Based on that, I'm really literally looking at, first of all, biology, like, okay, sex is biology and genetics and all that, and gender is between your ears. Like, what do you identify as, and how do you show up in the world, and how do you express, and who you are attractive to, and all that. So much more go into the gender. You know, when I was studying for my TED talk, really look into how brains are different and how they work differently. And interestingly, what was shocking for me to discover is that actually, when we are talking, the man is the one that makes decision and is in charge, and all that is in our cortex, right? Like, women cortex is bigger than the man cortex. Yeah. And then we are talking about emotions and how we express emotion and how we are touching emotion, and this is such a thing for female and not so much for male. But the limbic system is bigger in male than in women. Well, you know, the man will not express the emotions, or they will remember the experience, but they will not relive the experience as the women do. And well, generally speaking, that might be true, but that's not the rule, because it's all about how we've been raised. If we've been raised, regardless if we are little girls or little boys, to express our emotions, to sit with them, to identify them, to tell what they are, of course we're gonna grow up into this adults, you know, that we know who we are, regardless of our genitalia. I'm really looking into how much actually, what really has a big play into the whole thing is that, you know, nature versus nurture. What's coming up for me, it's a life example. And I think, especially in LGBTQ community, probably every individual has multiple examples, but I have one as a parent of a gay child. I come out to a family member, you know, saying that my son is gay, and his response was, oh, that's explain his neat room. So everything that I taught my child about, you know, making his bed in the morning, keeping his things organized, has nothing to do with it. Like, he absolutely explained it. The reason that my child is organized and keeping his room clean is because he's gay. We grow up with such ingrained beliefs and stereotypes into a binary world that we cannot see beyond that. That for me is telling me that actually men are not capable of learning to be organized unless are gay. Men are not, women are not capable of being in charge unless they're lesbian. So like, what are we doing here? And we put all these labels. If a man is like, you know, dressed nice and he's, you know, in touch with his emotions and is comfortable being vulnerable, is like, oh, he must be gay. Or if a woman preferred to just be, you know, wearing short hair or wearing boots and pants, is like, oh, she's a butch lesbian. Like we have all these labels
Right.
that is just divide us. And maybe just stay open, like even with conversation like this, you know, like just stay open, like, okay, how do you see things? Because it's not about if I'm right or wrong. It's just bringing a new idea, a new perspective, and just stay open and see, hey, what is good for me that I could take from all this to just enrich my life a little bit, right? Or probably don't label people. Probably don't look at that husband that is doing the dishes that, oh, the wife is wearing the pants, and all kind of expressions that is just like so unnecessary, and it's just, they become like derogatory, really. What I like to provoke, and what I did in my TED Talk, is like, what if, at least as parents, like this generation and following generation, when we have a child, yeah, he's a boy or a girl, right? We have the sex, we have the biology, we have the genitalia, and then that's it. And we just raise them as children, as humans, without labels, without pushing the activities, the whatever we and generation before us decided that that is for girls and that is for boys. Because every time we do that, we just create that gap between the sexes over and over and over again. And then when somebody is like confident enough, a child, a preteen, a teen, confident enough to say, hey, I'm not fitting there, I'm not fitting there, people automatically assume, oh, he might be gay. But he's not. He's not interested in football.
Right.
It's like the day one, the day they were born, like, okay, I'm just curious to see who are you becoming. 100%, I'm absolutely confident that if we change a little bit for our children will be capable to change it even more for their children. I do want to say that I believe that every parent could create a relationship with the children that they want. And of course, it's never going to be perfect. But if I get to say one thing, is just allowing your child to become who they need to become. We stay open and see what happens, and we get to learn new things. So again, I'm looking up to LGBTQ couples because I feel, and probably a lot of people will be triggered by this, and it is what it is, but I feel that we get to learn from that. If we are in a space that we are still, confused about gender role and whatever, it's just like, just go and look into a same-sex couple, how that is not even part of the conversation, and what is left is like love and connection.